Hey Leo, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for waiting on me. Super cool of y'all. Let's talk about what's going on in March. Leo, it's starting out at the very beginning of the month. We got stuff happening all the way to the end. On the first of the month, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money, harmony, and resources, moving into Aquarius. And for you, this is the 7th house. The 7th house is traditionally ruled by Libra. It's the house of your partnership, your open collaboration, and open enemies or open beef that you may have with someone. Could be like legal system battles in an open court of law. But Venus moving in there, gonna bring some harmony to your relationships. On the 5th of the month, we've got Mercury, the planet of thought, movement, and communication, going retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces. This is occurring in your 8th house, Leo. The 8th house is the house of life, death, and rebirth. It's very intimate issues. It's other people's money. It is very deep transformation and metamorphosis. I think of it as the house of blood and guts because it is not something that you would talk about at the Thanksgiving table. Things are going to be difficult to communicate from the 5th of the month on. Actually, Mercury is just about to hit its pre-retrograde shadow period as I record this right now. Bringing it back into my world, right? Angels, thanks for sticking around. Yeah, 29 degrees of Pisces. Chiron has been hanging out at this degree for quite a little bit. By the time you get these videos, it will probably have transitioned over to Aries, but I see this as kind of a reflection on the Chiron journey that has gone on in that 8th house, and Neptune is still there. So the journey ain't over, just with Chiron, that's all. On the 6th of the month, we've got Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, liberation, rebellion, and revolution, moving into Taurus, your 10th house. This is going to be going on until 2025, so expect some shocks and surprises in your career, status, and reputation. It may be that some of y'all really ascend the corporate ladder through the internet or make a career for yourself through the means of the internet. And I say that because Uranus rules the internet, in my opinion, and a lot of other astrologers' opinions. And the 10th house is your career, and it's dealing with authority figures and authority figures in their field of expertise. It's going to be there for a while, so you've got a good long time to get it ready. Things will be shaken in that house, making room for new stuff, shaking off the things that you no longer need, whether you realize it or not. On the same day, the 6th of the month, we've got a new moon at 15 degrees of Pisces. 15 degrees is halfway between the sign, going from 0 to 30 degrees. So this is a halfway point, a reflection point on what you've done right and what you've done wrong and what you want to redo. It gives you an opportunity to check your course, especially with the Mercury retrograde, and reflect on it and then recommit to doing it the way that you're wanting it done in the 8th house. On the 20th of the month, we've got the sun moving into Aries. This is your 9th house, bringing a spotlight to the house of Sagittarius traditionally. And that speaks to long-distance trips, adventures, and questing. It deals with your higher education, higher-minded ideals, and studies of foreign people, foreign places, foreign things, foreign languages, astrology, metaphysics, philosophy, psychology, and the law. On the 21st of the month, we've got a full moon at 0 degrees of Libra, a reset in the 3rd house for you, the house traditionally ruled by Gemini. 3rd house is the house of communication, communication devices, your commute, your vehicles, your siblings and neighbors and cousins, your phones and your devices. It can also be your neighborhood. Because Libra is ruled by Venus, approach these themes with compassion and love. On the 26th of the month, we've got Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, money, and resources, moving again into Pisces, this 8th house where you've got a lot of focus this month. in the intimate areas of life, of other people's money. And this is money coming to you not by your earned hourly wage. This is your partner. This is your partner's income. This is tax refunds. This is insurance payouts. This is inheritance. This is scholarships. This is loans. Those types of things. Venus moving into that area of life could smooth it out if you're trying to possibly move neighborhoods, because that full moon may indicate that it's time for you to move. Who knows? Depends on what's going on in your chart and the energy at play right now in your life. I read the stars. I'm not stalking you, I promise. On the 28th of the month, we've got Mercury going direct in that 8th house again of life, death, and rebirth, deep transformation and metamorphosis. This is where the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, and that can be a process in itself. Mercury going direct means that communication is going to become more clear. Understand that Mercury has to clear its post-retrograde shadows, so things will still be reviewed and reassessed up until about the second week in April, but it will clear up the closer you get to it. It'll be foggy as pea soup up until then, though, because we haven't even reached Mercury retrograde yet. It's just about to be the pre-retrograde shadow. I think I'm tiptoeing in it right now, as a matter of fact, as I record this, and Mercury in Pisces is really difficult to translate in its best aspects. Retrograde makes it even more difficult. On the 31st, the very end of the month, we have Mars moving into Gemini, your 11th house. The 11th house is the house of the internet and your social networking, online or face-to-face. It can be with your teams, groups, memberships, and associations that you belong to. Anything you have a membership card to. Could really be feeling a lot of activity in that social networking area of life. Let me go ahead and start shuffling for you, Leo. 8th house matters. Lots of 8th house focus this month for my Leos. And as I record this video right now, the moon is in Leo. We're close to the 0-degree Virgo full moon at this time while I'm recording. Okay, card jumped but didn't pop. And I take that as a sign to cut. I'm going to pull the bottom card and the top 3 for clarity, like I always do, or have, as my pattern is and has been. I'm going to also shuffle the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck for y'all, pull a card. And then I'm going to shuffle the Lenormand deck. The Lenormand deck is a deck that has 36 cards in it. It has very, very different meanings than the tarot. You read the cards differently than you would read the tarot. The way that I'm using them is to reflect the cards that have fallen for the tarot. And there's some associations and significators as well that we'll get to. See? Mercury and Pisces. Feeling it. Feeling it. Alright, there's your gemstone card. And now the Lenormand cards. These cards are quite salty in my personal readings and some of the readings that I've given for friends. They have been quite salty, but they give extra information that I've not seen with only 36 cards being able to give. Okay, you had a card jump out. I'm going to keep him there. Cut the deck. I'm going to take the top 3 off the deck for you and the bottom card. And we'll see what's going on for you, Leo. Okay. Oh, alright. Got 2 major arcana. like it. Want to know why I said I like it? This one right here. We'll get to it. First card, underlying theme, overarching energy of the month is the World card. The World is the last card in the major arcana for the tarot deck. It's the 21st card. 2 plus 1 is 3. That speaks to the third house. The third house is experiencing the full moon in Libra in March. So the World is a card that is associated with the planet Saturn. Saturn is currently in your 6th house of work and health, or competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. And some of you may be having like bone and joint pain is what I got. And this card deals with liberation and peace. Taurus, the planet of liberation, is moving into your 10th house. And the World being associated with Saturn could also speak to the 10th house. 10th house is your career, status, and reputation. First card in the top 3 for clarity is the 8 of Swords. The 8 is a number that deals with the theme of change. And the swords deal with air signs, that's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And it can be their sun, moon, or rising sign as well. It deals with the theme of reason. This card is a card of isolation and imprisonment, but it's self-doing that has gotten you there. Because the swords, while they create a cage, there is no door keeping her in or out. The bindings around her are loose. And if she just shook them off, she could walk out. Blind to something, not able to see it yet. Very Mercury and Pisces. The 8 speaks to that 8th house that is getting a lot of focus as well. This, in my opinion, speaks to reflecting. Reflecting, because her posture is also towards the past. Your past isolation, your past imprisonment. Second card is another major arcana. This is the Empress, number 3. Again, third house significator of that full moon occurring on the 21st. It's giving you a reset at 0 degrees of Libra. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this cliff right here, that's Venus. And she rules Libra. She also rules Taurus. The 3 speaks to the third house. And this Empress is, again, tied to Venus and deals with abundance and the ability to produce and make things. I also see this as a card of pregnancy in personal readings. That doesn't mean that all of y'all are going to be getting pregnant, but some of y'all could be dealing with like the manifestation of prior things. And that's a birth in itself if you look at it as such, because the manifestation requires a seed. But the Empress is sitting in her lap of luxury. She is relaxed and has everything she needs. Doesn't look like she wants for much. All of the pillows and the tapestries that she's resting on, wearing a crown, has her scepter. It's like the RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4 crowned 2 queens. It's like, this is both of them. They're fine. They don't care. They both won. Now, the fandom cares, but I don't care. They won. The third card in the top 3 for clarity is the 5 of Swords. 5 is a number that is tied to the theme of adversity. The swords, again, are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And this 5 of Swords deals with conflict, tension, and defeat. So it could be that there's like, you feel confined in your living space, area, little slice of heaven. Or it's like you're wanting to change, you're wanting a change of space, a change of scenery, and probably walking into March, don't know how you're going to get it, but by the end of March, it feels like things are really opening up for you. Okay. So let's do the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card before I move into the Lenormand. I pulled for you the Pink Agate card. Pink Agate deals with transformation, peaceful change, and soul path. It helps heal and amplify the vibration of the heart chakra. Pink Agate summons your muse and helps you to bring your unique gifts forward in the world in order to be of service to those around you. That's where Saturn is. And if you honor Saturn, you will be rewarded. Do the hard work in that 6th house of work and health and competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide, because it's building you to make you stronger. You've pulled this card because you are going through a major life change or have strayed from your soul path. Meditate with Pink Agate to feel a sense of refuge, to get back on path, and to act in service to the collective. All right. So, the card that reflects the world. I said the world card is tied to the planet Saturn. Saturn is known as the taskmaster. Saturn also rules Capricorn, so there's a 10th house significator there. And Uranus is moving into that 10th house in the first week of March and will be there for 7 years. Look back to May of 2018, and that will give you kind of a preview of what Uranus and Taurus will feel like, because we had that earlier in the year last year during the Kilauea volcano situation in Hawaii. The bear. Let's talk about a couple of different things. First off, the bear is the 15th card of the deck. 1 plus 5 is 6. Saturn is in the 6th house of work and health. So pay attention to your work, pay attention to your health. If you do not pay attention to your health, you will lose everything else. Health is the first wealth. That's fun to say. Try to say it 3 times fast. So, Saturn in the 6th house is literally significated in these cards. The bear deals with authority figures in your lifestyle, which is the themes of the 10th house. All the world is a stage. Career, status, reputation, dealing with authority figures. So you're dealing with some pretty harsh Saturn stuff going on in the 6th house, possibly the 10th house. 6th house is work and health, 10th house is career. So it's kind of a dual work situation. Some of you may really be feeling like you're being worked to the bone, Leo. And again, some of you may be dealing with like bone issues. Be careful. Now, the sun is mirroring the 8 of Swords. Hang on. I didn't finish. I got away from myself. One more thing. Right here, you see that it says 10 of Clubs. Well, that 10 of Clubs can also be referred to as the 10 of Wands in the tarot deck. Okay. 10 of Wands. 10 is completion. The Wands are fire signs. That's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So, speaking to you possibly. 10 of Wands is burden and responsibility. Again, feeling weighed down. And Saturn is very much the reality. You cannot fudge it. You cannot fake it. Illusion will not stand when Saturn is around. Okay, now let's go. All right. It's a lot of cards. I'm still not used to doing all of them, so give me a minute. This 8 of Swords is mirrored by the Sun card. The Sun card it's the 31st card in the deck. 3 plus 1 is 4. That speaks to the 4th house, ruled by Cancer, and it deals with family and home, roots, stability, and foundation. But the Sun card speaks to like holiday, triumph, and success. So I see this, or I hope that it reads as a successful way of releasing yourself from this self-imposed isolation. Success or triumph in it. Now, with the Empress card, the card that mirrors the Empress is the Ring card. The Ring is the 25th card of the Lenormand deck. 2 plus 5 is 7, and that speaks to the 7th house. And that's where Venus starts out at the very beginning of the month in Aquarius. The Ring deals with commitments, promises, and engagements. So it could be like a promise of money or a promise of resources, promise of goods in some way to help establish or keep you feeling established. It may be like a commitment to overtime, a commitment to earn more. In that regard, a commitment to earn more so that you can level up more is what it feels like. And with the Ring, you've got the Ace of Clubs, which is also the Ace of Wands. Aces being potential, Wands being fire signs. Again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Ace of Wands is like the inspired creation point. Some of y'all may be getting pregnant. Some of y'all may be getting pregnant. It depends on your personal chart. It depends on all of, if you're a Leo sun, check your moon and rising, that sort of stuff. The Five of Swords is reflected or mirrored by the Key card in the Lenormand. The Key card is the 33rd card in the Lenormand deck. 3 plus 3 is 6. Another 6 significator. The 6 is the house of Virgo. That is where Saturn and Pluto are right now, bringing big change. It's destruction for the sake of reconstruction. So remember that. The Key is important. It is urgent. And it is locks or locked things, locked offices. So you pair that with the Five of Swords. Conflict, tension, and defeat. It's like the conflict is urgent or important. It could be like online debate or online arguments. And I say online because this literally looks like the glyph for Uranus as well. The Key has a significator of the 8 of Diamonds. The diamonds are also coins or pentacles. The 8 is known as a number that's tied with change. And the 8 of Pentacles deals with like being engaged in learning, having a to-do list and trying to get it done, being proficient enough at it to where you can do the task without having somebody over your shoulder. And getting to that point may prove to your superiors that they can back off and make you hopefully not feel so isolated or scrutinized, because it feels like a tug of war between you and an authority figure with the cards and the way that they're laying out. But the reason that I was like, I like this, even with all of the other stuff that's going on, is because of the Fish card. All right? This Fish card is the 34th card of the Lenormand deck. 3 plus 4 is 7. Another 7 significator. That's the house of Libra. Could be speaking to the full moon. May not be. Could just be the 7th house. But this is your collaboration. This is your partnerships. This is your relationships that you have with people on a regular basis. And it can also be dealing with open enemies or like open legal battles. But that's the 7. Fish deals with business, resources, and money. And so it could be like getting more business or more business based on the relationships that you have. And we've got the King of Diamonds down here. The diamonds, again, are pentacles. So King of Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the king is seen as an authority figure who is disciplined and routine-oriented, but has enough to provide for himself and his family and possibly even make generational wealth. So the focus on the 8th house, It could be, I see some of y'all wanting to move. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it feels like to me, like looking online for housing, for financing for the housing, that sort of stuff. Just make sure you do your research, because it looks like it could be coming to you very well. And I hope it does, Leo. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart, Leo. I am sending you so much love, and I do hope that you're well. Please take care of yourself, and please be kind to yourself, and also save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I'll see y'all soon, and I can't remember if I mentioned it in this video or not, but I intend on doing an eclipse series. It will not be out until after these videos are posted. And we had a pretty strong eclipse in Leo, so I'll definitely be talking about that, but it won't be coming out until this series is out, so look out for it. Again, I thank you, I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye, Leo.